Hey, how's it going, everyone? This is Toddzilla yet again from Joe's Auto War Clan. We're going to come at you with a tutorial video on how to get rid of those pesky Town Hall 9 ring bases. As you can see here, we did win, what was our 15th war in a row here, or maybe it was 16. 15 war win streak here against D-Wreckers. Kind of wrecked their D, I guess. But we're going to take a peek at two attacks here. We're going to highlight Jesse's attack on number 3, and excuse me, I don't think it was number 3. Number 2 from Mr. Shofar. We're going to look at how he attacks this very symmetrical ring base, and then we're going to look at God of War first, actually, and his attack on number 7, if I believe that is the correct one. It is not. Sorry, number 8 from Red X. So I was wrong on both accounts. It is Mr. Shofar and Red X giving us today's video, and we're going to give a highlight on how to attack these ring bases. So with that being said, you can see this isn't like the most perfectly designed base, but kind of similar to what number 2 was running there from Mr. Shofar. So basically what happens, both of these attacks, they use a little bit different strategy, but little different troop composition, I guess, but the strategy is roughly the same. They're going to take out one little corner here with a certain troop. This particular one, they're going to use the baby dragon to kind of take out these 4 buildings, or at least attempt to get those out. Because if you get these, then if you come in over here, nothing's going to go to the left there, especially if you're using Valks. They're going to come to the right and kind of path that direction. And if you have a little bit slower troops, such as golems or your Barb King, the Valkyries are going to get ahead of them and take those out. They're going to throw a jump spell to get into that core. So the slower moving, tankier units are actually going to go into that core and take out the core, while the rest of the units, which is the Valks, go around the outside basically. So we're going to take a peek. Does pull the clan castle with the one hog there. I'm just going to fast forward there with the clan castle pull. They do bring them to the corner there, poison them down. Doesn't get everything quite poisoned down. Throws down that baby dragon. Doesn't influence those balloons any because they are ground only. And then throws down the golem smartly so he can use the wizard to get rid of the balloon. And you can see that the little baby dragon actually took out those 2 buildings. As soon as he gets that down, he can release his Valkyries and they'll kind of path in this direction. If he gets lucky, they'll actually take the jump, but most likely Valks are going to stay where all these buildings are clumped up. So you can see, push that golem down, 3 wizards just to kind of take out everything else, and then there's 3 Valks and 3 wall breakers in the clan castle, and here comes the rest of those Valkyries as that baby dragon took out that one thing. So instead of pathing to the left there, because that elixir storage was taken out by that baby dragon, all of his Valks are going to go that way. And from there, he releases his Barb King and his Archer Queen, and then a couple healers to kind of keep them going. They do focus on that golem. And as I said, those Valks, they're fast. They're going to run out ahead. And there's that Barb King. It gets influenced because it's just single target only. It goes to the next closest thing, which is that Tesla coil. And then the rest of those Valks kind of peeled off, or a couple of them peeled off to go to the middle. And guess what? Followed people into the middle, those healers. And from there, Valks are just going to swing around the outside. A couple heals will help keep them alive, actually, while the rest of those buildings are kind of focused on the inner core or some of those Valkyries. So that one heal did keep those Valks alive pretty well. And then a balloon comes in, trying to help out with the defensive units there, but they're not fast enough necessarily to get to a few. They do get a few bombs off on that archer tower, and then they get this last cannon, and you can see 10 seconds of cleanup only because everything else was absolutely demolished on the ring. So you saw one way of doing it, which is basically you want to pinch off one little corner or one little section and prevent the rest of your troops from circling around or splitting. That's the big thing with these ring bases, is not getting your units to split. You want them to kind of go together. Either everything goes around the ring. The one thing you don't want is one one unit or one squad heading that direction, one heading, you know, the opposite direction around the base. That's a recipe for getting absolutely destroyed, and that's what those ring bases are kind of for. Everything just goes around the ring, and everything that's in the middle kind of shoots it out. So we're gonna watch Mr. Shofar's attack here, using a queen walk actually to cut off one end. So what he's gonna do, queen and a couple healers there, and that queen's just gonna take her time taking out all those things. Got a couple wall breakers there to bust through the wall to allow the queen to get into the inside, and she's going to take out that and the dark elixir pump. Then she's going to focus to the left. We'll fast forward a little bit there just because everybody knows what a queen walk does. Does get that archer tower, and the next closest thing, she's going to go back to focus on that side, and she's going to go all the way to the left because everything else is the closest to her on that side. She actually does swing back to get this air defense, excuse me. But once that edge is kind of set, he's going to come in on this corner and try to cut that corner off as well. So there's the air defense. Now the archer queen is going to basically path left because nothing else is as close as those units there in front of her. Another heal to keep her going. There's the D from the CC coming out. Very wisely uses a enrage to keep that archer queen alive. A couple poisons slow down those balloons fast enough for her to take out the CC. And then there we see a couple giants and a couple wall breakers to get through there. And here's a couple Valks from that CC. They're going to come in, basically take out a little chunk of everything there, and now everything's in the middle. So he's going to release the rest of his Valkyries there to latch on to that dark elixir storage and that cannon. Unfortunately, guess what? They go around and they're going to circle, except for those tankier units. Barb King and a few Valkyries do make it into the middle with that jump, and a wizard enrages there to get rid of everything within the center, knowing that if that stays up and alive, everything's going to get absolutely demolished. Luckily, guess what made it in there? Those healers. They're basically good for a ton of heals. You know, not just one heal spell keeping everything alive. Those healers are really going to town and help take out a few extra defenses in there. And there we go. We have a few more Valkyries going around there. I believe we got 4, 5, 6 somewhere in that range, and then a couple hogs to take out one of those wizard towers. Unfortunately, a giant bomb does take out the rest of those guys and make some bacon, but healers keeping those Valkyries alive, and a few of them get flung off there, but not enough to worry about it because we got a couple healers on them, keeping them alive. They bust through this wall with the help of those wizards, take out this archer tower in one hit, place themselves in between both those buildings, take out the Tesla, and there's the X-Bow. Very, very nice, smart attack there from Mr. Shofar, and you saw it started essentially with 3 minutes left, so that was as close as it gets. Watch 3, 2, 1, 0, and his attack starts, so he had less than a half a second probably. But that's both these attacks on the ring bases, guys. What you want to do, basically split the base, get one edge kind of set as he did in this video with his archer queen. Then you know everything's going to circle one way or the other, and nothing's really going to split on you. So that's how he did it on this one. You saw on the other one before, using just a few Valkyries, it did kind of set the edge on one side and then had everything else go. Excuse me, he didn't use the Valkyries. He used that baby dragon to kind of prevent anything else from going to the left because he was using Valkyries, knowing that the Valkyries just attack the next closest buildings that are clumped up. So with that being said, if you encounter these ring bases within, you know, any of your war attacks, they are pretty common. They're very effective at getting just 1 stars against them. So that's why people run these ring bases. Because a lot of times everything will run around the outside and they'll end up splitting. Some will go inside, some will go outside, some will go clockwise, some will go counterclockwise. So your whole attack is basically screwed up because of the pathing of these ring bases. So that's the power behind the ring base. And this is basically how you turn that power into a strength for your own attack. You basically cut off one little spot, and then you know everything's going to path in a certain direction. and you can use like essentially one jump to get into the middle, so you're slow, you know, able to keep up with those Valkyries, which are a little bit faster unit, are able to, you know, get into the middle there and kind of tank up everything and kill a little bit of the stuff that's in the middle. So we're gonna take a peek here at Red X's attack as well, just to replay that so you can see both of them after seeing how they were attacked. So yeah, essentially what you want to do, it looks like both of these, they started on one corner and wanted to just cut off one edge so the rest of their troops are going to go one direction. And then once you know they're going one direction, you can use that jump a little bit more predictively, and knowing that either some of those slower, tankier units are going to go into the core, or if you know you were able to cut off possibly two edges as Mr. Shofar was kind of doing up top, then you can use that jump to get into the middle. Unfortunately, only a few Valks went into the middle, so that's where the last of his were left over for the remainder of that attack. He had to go in, bust through that center wall and get in there with his Valks with just a little bit time remaining. So you counter these ring bases, guys, that's what you're going to want to do. Cut off one little corner, make sure all things are going to path one direction, and then you're able to influence that pathing just a little bit easier. Both of these ran healers, which essentially you're going to need because you're not going to have enough heals or enough spells to keep your troops alive that long when they're running around the base getting blasted by all these defensive units inside and outside that ring. So with that in mind, run those healers, run those Valks, cut off one corner. Preferably, if you're a lower level and you can't do a queen walk, use this method that Red X did. If you're a higher Town Hall 9 that's got like 15 or higher royals, certainly use that queen walk to cut off one edge, a couple wall breakers to get everything, and you should be set to take out those ring base. Hopefully you enjoy this video, guys. Hopefully you learned something. These are very sneaky bases to attack during the war, so hopefully you guys see this in any upcoming wars. You can use this strategy to help you get 3 stars against those bases. Thanks for watching, guys. Stay tuned for the next video highlighting the rest of the Town Hall 9 attacks from this particular war against D-Wreckers. Give us a subscribe, bottom right button there with the Barb King, and we'll see you on the next video. Thanks for watching. Hope you learned something. Leave a comment, and I will talk to you on the next one, I guess. Bye, guys.